Oke, kita sambung semula ya. Okay, I managed to solve problem with my video, my camera. Right. Before I proceed, any question or comment? Tak ada? Daniel?
Nothing, Prof.
Nothing, huh? All right. All right, so continue, yeah. Just a bit more. Just a bit more. We're not going to spend all the 4 hours today, just to be sure. It probably take me about maybe half an hour more, and then after that, I will go through with you the on your assignment, yeah. That will be the order of the day. And then after that, kalau dah habis nanti kita berhenti situ lah, right? Okay, let me check. No, right. Okay, thank you. Share screen. Okay, so this is the we've looked at the trends in the past, and now we're looking into the future, and the future doesn't seems to be good either. In other words, if you're living in the less developed countries, and also the least developed countries, as far as population is concerned, it doesn't look good. Yeah. So in other words, we'll still see a lot of growth in the population. Okay. So nearly all future population growth will be in the world's less developed countries. Ini yang kita lihat lah, apa yang berlaku ya di negara di dunia ni. So most of these countries and least developed, negara yang sangat-sangat kurang membangun lagi, contributing to that. The more developed countries, they are level off more or less in terms of the population, unless of course there are major migration from less developed countries to the developed countries, but I don't think that will happen. Ya. Okay, jadi kalau nak tengok ya, if you want to see the world population as it is now, you can look at this. There is a website called Worldometers Info or World Population. Right, so you can see this. I click share with you. Yeah, you can click on this Worldometer. Okay. Oh, stop sharing that one. Then share with you. Right. This is the current world population as it is now at this time, this hour. Yeah. You can see from here. This is based on estimate. Yeah. That we have now 7.8 billion people. Yeah. But also at the same time, you can see as of today, the number of birth today so far lah, dia akan tambah setiap saat, ada beberapa newborn ya, and also the number of death. This is apa nama yang sedang berlaku sekarang. So pertambahan dan juga peninggalan lah. So I'm talking about yang meninggal dunia ya, 72 million, thousand people, termasuk death because of COVID-19 termasuk juga. So the overall growth untuk sehari adalah about 100,000 per day. Ya. Jadi kalau dibandingkan dengan, remember earlier on I talk about the rate of growth per day sampai 200.000 sehari, sekarang ini telah turun, ya, telah turun. So the expected growth overall, growth this year, birth minus death, ya, adalah about 18. Ini setakat inilah, setakat bulan apa namanya? This is only is only March, right? We can expect more, of course, yeah. 18 million, okay. But as you scroll down here, you can see more stuff, yeah. For example, the 20 largest countries by population, it may have changed from my slide earlier on, yeah. For example, China is still there, but again, as I said, India is very close behind, right? And what else do you want to say? By region, if you want to look by region, for example, this is by regions: Asia, Africa, Europe, yeah, North America, Oceania, and so on. And these are some of the statistics that you may be interested in, yeah. For example, the fertility rate, yeah. If you compare Africa with Asia, our fertility rate is above the 2.0, right? But if you look at Africa, termasuk Nigeria tadi, is 4.4, yeah, which is the highest by regions, yeah, in the world, right? And then Europe 1.6. 1.6 ini is actually below the replacement level. Nanti saya akan bincangkan apa yang dimaksudkan dengan replacement level. Replacement level tu more or less is the number of the fertility rate that will be able to replace the for the parents lah. Sebab parents tu ada 2 orang kan, mak bapak. So kalau fertility rate tu is less than 2, maknanya this it will not be able to replace the 2 parent tadi, ya, mother and father. Right? Kalau kurang daripada 2, maknanya it will not be able to replace. So it's below the replacement level. Anything more than 2 will be above the replacement level. Ya, yang mengganti lah maksudnya. Right? So you can see that in Europe is already below 2, in other words, is below the replacement level, and in North America too, right? Termasuk Canada. Okay, the other parts of the world, it's okay. I mean, Latin America and Caribbean, just exactly too. In other words, they will maintain their population. Yeah, kalau lebih daripada 2 ke atas, the population will be increasing. Okay. Okay, we'll share the population. Okay, so we have seen earlier on from the graph, it's about slightly less than 60% of the world population are in Asia, and then in Africa. Africa has increased, by the way, to 17.2% of the world population. Okay, then in terms of migrants, yang banyak yang negatif positif. This is talking about net migration, ya. So kalau dilihat di sini, Asia has a negative net migration, maknanya lebih ramai orang yang keluar ataupun migrate out of Asia to another regions of the world, mostly kepada mana? Mostly Europe, North America, and Oceania, termasuk New Zealand and Australia. Ya. Afrika pun sama, ya, maknanya not many people going to the country, but more people going out of the country, migrated out. And then you see the opposite, ya. Europe mempunyai lebih ramai migran yang masuk, ya. immigrant, yeah, in migration. Okay, immigrants, in other words, yeah, those who are entering the countries in Europe, 1.36 billion, right? And another positive one is US and also US and Canada, ya. US sekarang ini kan isunya the border between Mexico dengan US very very porous, that people are illegally entering, ya, masuk ke negara US. Okay, itu jadi isu, one of the issues masa isu masa pemilihan presiden US dulu, ya, migrants di North America, ya, mainly US lah. And you also could see in Oceania, termasuk Australia dengan New Zealand, you see also positive net migrants yang masuk ke negara tersebut. Okay, so a lot of interesting thing actually, but just looking at this figure, you can tell, you can describe more or less certain the dynamism, yeah, dynamics of the populations in the world, yeah, by region. Okay, yang ini pula menunjukkan the density of the world population. Again, by region, you see that the most densely populated areas are certain parts of China, right? Eastern part of China mainly, termasuk Korea, termasuk Japan, Philippines, yeah, and some parts of India, Pakistan, there also Bangladesh, certain islands in Indonesia, for example, Java, right? And the eastern parts of US plus California. You see, this is what I was telling you about. US is a big country with so many states. States which are highly populated are on the eastern coast, termasuk Florida, New York, you know, Connecticut, and all that around these regions here. And then California, of course, yeah. And then in Europe, yeah, certain countries in Europe are high with high density, termasuk juga negara di UK ataupun Britain, ya, England, and then some of these regions in these countries here. Okay, ada countries, contohnya Russia is very sparsely populated, 0 to 10% per square kilometer, ya, jadi tak ramai orang. Okay, kita di Malaysia is about what 100. What color is that? Probably light brown. 150 to 300 per square kilometer on average, ya. Okay, so Afrika memang kurang-kurang lah, mostly, except for countries like Nigeria yang tinggi, ya. Okay, what else? So ada statistics, ya, in terms of by religion pun ada, ya. So if you want to look at the countries by religion, of course, Christian is still the more dominant, yeah, yang biggest population, then followed by, of course, Muslim, then yang tak ada religion is none lah, then Hindus, yeah, and Buddhists, so on, yeah. All right, and then the distribution, yeah. And here you can see the world population by country, right? These are the details, yeah. So you can look at all the other countries as well, yeah. So for your assignment, you can use this website because there's so much information from here as part of your reference lah, boleh gunakan ni. And then you can look at some of these statistics, yeah, looking at the trends, yeah. So for example, if I use the full table, and I can see semua sekali, ya, negara di dunia. Kita Malaysia ni, we are here, there, number 45. Yeah, we have now 32 million people. right? An increase from last year for 31 million, 32 million people. And our, see, what is good is that our rate of, this is this is yearly change ya, perubahan. Tahunan kita tak banyak ya, in terms of our growth rate ya. Mana tadi? Where is Malaysia is now? 30, sorry, there, now 45, 1.3%, yeah, rate of growth. Okay, so during your free time, you can look at this and study this world distribution, yeah, of population, yeah. Okay, sorry. So sorry, I just get out of that. So you can see that, boleh nampak lah, yeah, this current world distribution and so distribution by countries. Okay, nah detail tu banyak situ ya, in fact by regions, by as we have seen, by religions and whatnot, even by economic distribution and all that. Okay, so I would urge you to have a look at that, yeah, on your own free time. Okay, so the next topic, which will be the last topic that I would like to discuss for today, is on demographic transition. Jadi maksud demographic transition ini adalah the transition from low growth to high growth, ya, dan sebagainya. So it's transition, ya. So one of the transition is in terms of the fertility, ataupun kelahiran daripada high fertility to medium and then to low fertility. Ya, sama juga dengan kematian ataupun kadar kematian, mortality from high mortality rate to then transition to a medium mortality rate and then gradually to the low mortality rate, ya. So itu yang dimaksudkan dengan transition. So demographic transition. So overall the effect of on the fertility transition, mortality transition also definitely will have an effect on the overall demographic transition or change. Yeah. Okay, so demographic transition refers to the transition from the birth rate, high birth rate and high death rates, yeah, to lower birth rate and lower death rates. Yeah. Now, this transition occurs as a result of ataupun as the country developed from pre-industrial to an industrialized economic system. Jadi ia berlaku mainly as a result of industrialization ataupun development lah, if you will, yeah, as a result of economic development. Okay, so that is the transition that we're talking about: high birth rate and death rate transition into lower birth as well as lower death rates. Okay, jadi dalam there is model ini merupakan satu teori sebenarnya, the demographic transition model or DTM is one of the theories of one of the theories of population, one population theory. Ataupun demographic transition theory. The model suggested that a population mortality and also fertility would decline, ya, akan turun ataupun semakin berkurangan as a result of social and economic development. Jadi dua perkara ya yang penting, social as well as economic development. Yes.
Tak nampak slide.
Oh, sorry. Saya belum tukar tadi kan. My apologies. Thank you for informing me. Ya, Pak. Okay. I stop share tadi kan. Okay. Let me share again. Sekarang nampak kan?
Ya, nampak.
Okay, my apologies. Saya cakap sendirilah tadi. Okay, so yeah, we talk about just now about the current world population tadi kan, right? So the next topic, as I mentioned earlier, is the demographic transition. Yeah, and I have explained that earlier on. Yeah, which refers to the transition from high birth, high death to low birth, low death. Yeah, and that happens because countries are moving from pre-industrial system, economic system to pre-industrial itu maksudnya agriculture lah, agriculture, economic system to industrialized system of economy. That's the main reason, yeah. So high birth rate, high death rate to transition to lower birth and also lower death rates. Okay, that was just here just now. Yeah. Jadi, so the model, which is also sometimes called the demographic transition model ataupun teori, ya, satu teori demografi. So the model suggested that that a population's mortality, itu kematian, and fertility, kelahiran, would decline, ya, decline ataupun turun as a result of two things: social and economic development, right? So social ini termasuk education, ya, termasuk education, one of the most important social factors, education. Other thing termasuk religion, so on and so forth juga lah. Economic, basically an improvement, yeah, in the income level, in the standard of living, ya, termasuk social tadi juga, right? That affects the mortality and fertility. Yeah, right. So based on this model, or DTM, demographic transition model, predicted that all countries would over time go through 4 demographic transition stages. Jadi setiap negara, sama ada yang sudah membangun ataupun sedang membangun ataupun yang masih memikir hendak membangun ataupun yang masih kurang membangun lah, right? We'll have to go through these 4 stages, right? Throughout history, and particularly in relation to population. Yeah. Okay. So the first phase is known as the pre-industrial stage. Pre-industrial stage. This is where the birth rate, ya, kadar kelahiran itu tinggi dan kadar kematian itu tinggi. Now, there are a few things related to this. I think I'll explain more later on as we go into the various subtopics of fertility, mortality, dan sebagainya. But the reason for high birth rates for the pre-industrial stage ataupun pre-industrial era is mainly because of the high rate of death juga, particularly the infant mortality ataupun kadar kematian bayi yang begitu tinggi. So because of kadar kematian bayi tinggi, maka kadar kelahiran juga tinggi, right? So in other words, from the number of birth, let's say from 10 birth, ya, 10 kelahiran yang berlaku kepada seorang individu perempuan, contohnya hanya 5 yang berjaya ataupun dapat hidup ke peringkat adulthood, for example, and the rest died at young age, mostly at infants age. Okay, jadi so high birth rates and death rates are quite related. Kalau kadar kematian itu kurang, kemungkinannya birth rate juga tak akan menjadi tinggi kerana there is no need to have more birth since all the children born survive, for example. right? So that was the reason lah for the pre-industrial stage tadi, yeah. So very high birth rate and very high death rates, yeah. And then there is, if you see from here, okay, this green line or rather curve indicates the birth rate, ya. Jadi birth rate dia tinggi untuk tempoh masa yang lama, tetapi apa yang akan berubah dengan cepat because of industrialization ataupun improvement in the economy and so on, yeah, the death rate declines due to increase. For example, this is during the agricultural revolution, yeah, where there is more food, yeah, not only for mothers, for the family, but also for babies, yeah. So death rate declines due to increased food production and improved medical care, right? So this is what is happening, ya. Jadi yang turun, yang awal turun adalah death rate, bukannya birth rate, ya. So there is the first transition occurs with regard to the death rate, ya, turun. So transition in terms of death. And then this is where the stage 2 is, ya. Transition stage, mula transition, bermula dengan penurunan kadar kematian, right? Tapi kadar kelahiran masih tinggi, tapi mula turun towards the end of the stage 2, right? This area here, okay? So there is a big, if you look at this, big difference between death dengan birth rate. Jadi oleh kerana beza di antara birth and death tinggi, ianya menyumbang kepada peningkatan populasi. Right? Remember the natural rate of increase population adalah fertility ataupun birth minus death, kan? Right? So that overall impact dia adalah a very big increase in population. That's where this is the period when there was a boom, peningkatan populasi yang tinggi. Yeah, yeah, question early on. And then during the industrial stage, this is where you observe ataupun apa yang berlaku adalah bukan sahaja death rate yang telah turun, tetapi the birth rate also mula turun, yeah, drastically. Okay, so birth rates decline due to increased opportunities for women in job, ya, in the job market, dalam melibatkan diri mereka dalam pekerjaan, dalam labor and so on. Plus, the other factor adalah access to birth control. Yeah, so not only in the developed countries but also in developing countries, women have access to birth control. So that contributes to the decline in the birth rate. Okay, so turun, ya. So birth rate ni, death rate ni tak dapat turun banyak sangat lah. There's only so much the death rate can go down, ya. After a while it flattens seperti ini, ya. So the same thing with birth rate, dia turun sampai ke tahap ini, and the fourth stage is what is known as the post-industrial stage, ya. Ataupun stage 4. So this is stage 1, 2, 3, 4. The fourth stage ini, this is where the death rate has reached its rock bottom. In other words, yang paling rendah. Okay, so birth rates and death rates are low. Birth rate ni kadang-kadang fluctuates lah, but death rate tu sangat rendah. So this is the some countries are not yet at this stage. Many countries or developed countries are already at this stage, the post-industrial stage. Most developing countries are at this stage now, termasuk negara Malaysia, saya rasa. We are around this, ya. But some of the least developed countries, termasuk negara-negara di Afrika yang saya katakan awal tadi, are around this area, right? But they are moving, moving. Eventually, they are moving slower and later than the rest of the countries. Right? So advanced countries are already here. They have gone through this. At one time they were here, they were here, they were here, and now they are here. Negara kita pun sama. We started a little bit late. We were here. We came to this stage in the 1970s, I think, and now we are in the year 1990s to 2000. We are around here. We are moving closer to this next stage. of the transition. So that is the demographic transition model. Ya. The same thing. Ya, ini saya gunakan satu lagi, but the same thing. Ini stage 1, 2, 3, 4 tadi lah. Right, the stage tadi, stage of the demographic transition tadi. Okay. Another one, the same thing, cuma nak beri gambaran yang berbeza sedikit ya. This one is in terms of relationship between the demographic transition and its overall apa namanya impact ataupun contribution to the total population. Right? Jadi apa yang berlaku seperti saya kata tadi, in the beginning in terms of population sangat rendah ataupun kecil, and then eventually because of that big difference between the growing increase difference between birth and death, and therefore you see there was a sharp rise here, a rise in the total population. Okay. Sampai sini, this stage pun sama. You look at this area here, a shaded area. This is the contribution to growth in the population. As long there are differences between birth and death, you still actually positive difference. You will find growth in the population, total population. All right. Same thing again, but more information here. Yeah. All right. So let's look at this. Yeah. This is the what I call the total population, and this is the transition in terms of the birth and death. Right. So what happened? And these are examples. Yeah. Examples we have here. There are few remote groups ataupun few countries, not many currently. Then some countries, mostly in Africa, and some other parts of the world. These are just India, for example, are still around. That's why India tadi dijangkakan akan melepasi ataupun overtake China in the next few years in terms of the total number of and the size of the population of the country, right? And this one is Brazil, Malaysia, saya sini lah. That these are already the low low growth rate, yeah, US, Japan, and there is the demographic transition model has been improved. Yeah, somebody suggested that there is a fifth stage, a stage yang kelima, where there is declining population. I mean, the world as a whole. Yeah, I think if you look at country by country, there are already countries with negative growth, yeah, in terms of population. Contohnya Germany, I think Canada is another one. Yeah, so these are developed countries. So the growing in terms of population growth, dia telah turun secara keseluruhan, right? So this is what you can look at this. With regard to birth rate, high stage 1, still high stage 2, but falling down in stage 3, and then come to a low rate at stage 4 and stage 5, very low. Death rate pun begitu juga, high in the stage 1, but falls rapidly during stage 2, and then keep falling but slowly during stage 3, because it's the slope tu agak rendah sikit ya kalau banding dengan itu ya. Then stabilize stage 4 and low, remain low stage 5 ya. So the overall, this is the one that contributes to the growth tadi lah. So stable or slow increase in stage 1, stage 2 you find a sharp increase, yeah, in the population growth, and then and then also still increasing but slowing down, yeah, in stage 3. And stage 4, it becomes stable or very, very slow increase in the overall population. Stage 5, kalau seperti saya katakan tadi, ada some countries yang sudah ada situ, so there is a slow decrease, ya. Negara kita mungkin agak lambat sedikit lah, ya, untuk mencapai tahap itu. Right. So these are some of the reasons related to each stage, berkaitan dengan death rate dengan birth rate tadi, ya. Contohnya pada tahap 1-2, many children needed for farming, so that explain high fertility rate, ya. So at the same time, many children die at an early age, that explain the death rate tadi. And then there's also religious and social encouragement for to encourage more big families and so on, and also no family planning during time. But as far as death rate is concerned, the death rates in stage 1 is there is a lot of disease, famine, and there's no medical facilities. There was no medical facilities during this time. Ataupun kalau kita bandingkan negara yang miskin sekarang ini, mungkin the same thing is also happening. They can't afford, some of this medical technology and so on. Yeah. Okay. And so as far as death is concerned, with improvement in medical care and also economic development, good water supply, clean water supply, better sanitation, so fewer children will die in stage 2 and 3. Yeah. Tapi dari segi kadar kelahiran in stage 3, there is improvement in medical care and diet, so fewer children are needed. Yeah, because when, as I said just now, if children are born and they're healthy and so on, and then develop into adult and so on, so there is no need to have so many children. Plus, also the social reasons behind that, yeah. As people are more educated, they know the benefits of having less number of children and so on. Itu kaitan. Then stage 4, this is where family planning and good health improving status of women, and also another factor is the tendency to have late marriages ataupun later marriages. Kalau dulu kawin umur 16-17 tahun during stage 1 or stage 2, sekarang ini stage 4 kawin umur 30-35 tahun sebagai contoh, ya. So the concern is now at this stage, especially for young women who are educated with college degree and so on and so forth, and the tendency is for them to get married later, right? Because career comes first, ya. Untuk bekerja, untuk just to earn a living before considering having family. Alright. Dari segi kadar kematian, the rate of death is low because of good health care system, plus the reliable food supply, of course, ya. Jadi itulah faktor-faktor yang menyumbang kepada the transition in terms of the birth rate and also the death rates. Okay? Boleh faham ke? So if you can do not quite understand yet, it took me quite a while actually to to look at this and understand. Yeah. So what you do is during your own study time, you look at this and try to relate to it. Try to picture, try to figure, cuba bayangkan, what happened during those time and so on and so forth. So you will understand exactly. Yeah. Okay. So I guess this is also another one. Kalau itu tadi tak cukup, boleh tambah dengan ini, ya. So this is some of the some of the description lah in terms of the socio-economic condition, for example, during the pre-industrial period, And also apa namanya lebih ada tahunan di sini ya, tahun yang dikaitkan dengan stage stages of it, demographic transition sini, right? So stage one, pre-industrial era, sorry. Stage two, industrial, and also present time here. Right, so socio-economic condition during the pre-industrial period, life expectancy is short, probably 20, 30 years old, and mortality is high. High birth rates can be thought thought of as parental strategy. Ini dijangkakan oleh apa nama ni demografer lah. Parental strategy that increases the likelihood that some children will live to adulthood. Seperti yang saya kata tadi, kita at least out of 6-7 birth ataupun yang dilahirkan, ada yang dapat hidup ke to adulthood ataupun to umur lebih tua lah. So overall there is little increase in population during that time. Okay. Is there a contemporary example? Probably none. No country remains in stage one. So there tidak ada lah, to be truthful, tidak ada negara di dunia yang berada pada tahap satu lagi. At one time memang adalah each of the countries now pernah berada pada tahap satu. Okay, and the early industrial or stage two tadi, known as the early industrial stage. This is where the birth rate remains high, but the death rate falls dramatically, producing rapid population growth, and that also is added with medical advances atau technology, and with improved food distribution, urban water supplies available, and public sanitation help to account for declining death in the stage two. So some countries, examples are here, Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, Kenya, Guatemala, in this region. Stage three, this is, I think we are here, right? I think Saudi Arabia probably is in stage three. I wouldn't put it in stage two. This is late industrial, in conjunction with ongoing industrialization and urbanization, social needs, for example, need for smaller family and opportunities for work, women participation workforce or labor. So bringing a decline in birth rates. So population growth rapidly at first, but slows down gradually. Ini negara-negara contoh negara dunia ketiga ataupun developing countries. The stage 4 tadi, the post-industrial, this is where the demographic transition is complete. Itu without the stage 5 tadi lah. Stage 5 ini is just some of the latest addition yang mengatakan there is now a stage 5. But the original model, demographic transition model, ends at stage 4. So the demographic transition is complete at this stage. Birth rates, death rates, and population growth are all low. So kelahiran rendah, kematian rendah, dan juga pertumbuhan populasi juga rendah. So birth rates reflect higher levels of educational, kaitannya adalah berkaitan dengan levels of higher education, overall higher level education, educational achievement, especially among women, particularly the impact of education on women, and also the overall higher standards of living for family or for the person. Right, so itu yang faktor-faktor yang boleh dikaitkan dengan the various stages of the demographic transition tadi. Okay, so hold on. Jadi itu saja yang saya nak kongsikan. Cuma yang ini I don't know what it is. I can't remember. I put this video up. Let me check first. Yeah, Jup. My apologies. Oops. Are you still with me? Okay. Um, yeah, that one is
Yeah,
also
yeah.
about demographic transition. Sorry. Yeah, yeah. Um, uh, yep. Hold on. This is the shortest one. Let's go. Let's look at the shortest one first. Let me. Okay. Share. Yeah. This is the shortest video. Um, Hold on. um, this is quite long, and I think you can watch on your own. Yeah, it's a good. It's a good video explaining the demographic transition theory. But I would like to share the first one just now, which is uh, a bit shorter. Yeah. Sekejap, it's not the one. Okay, this is the one. Okay, let's watch this one instead. Um, okay, it's the same thing that I've explained. Oh, sekejap, 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 sekejap. Let me increase the volume sekejap. Okay. Okay, so that's the video which explains the demographic transition as well. Okay, any comments on that one? Okay, let me hit this one. Oops. Okay, any comments, please?
So far, no.
Okay, you still with me ya. Jadi itu sajalah untuk saya nak sampaikan pagi ini. Kalau tak ada soalan, then I just proceed with the last item for today, which is to more or less explain to you about your assignment. Boleh ya? Okay. This is your assignment. Let me upload. All right. Sorry. Big. Okay. This is your group assignment. Jadi saya pagi tadi sebelum itu, this morning I saw one or two persons who were seeking apa namanya, or asking the rest of the class kalau ada yang masih memerlukan ahli for group ya, member for group ya. So I hope grup yang belum cukup itu mungkin yang memerlukan seorang ataupun dua orang ahli kumpulan, you can contact the person lah. I'll leave that to you. I have also, with regard to group assignment, I have allowed up to 6 persons per group upon your request. Actually, you have requested for additional person. I asked for 5, and you were requesting for 6, and I have allowed that to happen. Yeah. Okay. So this is your assignment. So this is a group assignment to be done in no more than 6 person per group. Right. The first thing is the topic is basically about demographic profiles and challenges of a particular country. Jadi kamu boleh pilih negara mana yang kamu nak pilih. Your group will have to decide lah. So what you do is just discuss among your group members and decide on which country to review, yeah, to look at. Okay, except for Malaysia. Jadi saya tidak mau kumpulan mana-mana kumpulan untuk membincangkan tentang Malaysia, because we know kita semua tahu kan keadaan di Malaysia, tak perlulah untuk kita bincangkan tentang Malaysia. Walaupun ada, I mean, what I'm saying is that I think we relatively know more about Malaysia than any other country. So I want group to look at other countries untuk exercise ini. Okay, so choose any country except Malaysia, and then the following is some of the guidelines that you can use. Yeah, guidelines ataupun questions which may assist you to formulate your paper, your assignment. Okay, number one, you should describe the demographic trends and also projections of the country. Yeah, and then this one you can look at some data on the world for United Nations data on population in specific countries. Ya, ini ada ya, ada online pun ada records of this. Right? So United Nations population records ya. And then itu kalau tidak ada yang tertulis lah, you can even explore ataupun analyze the data yang ada. Number two, what are the socio-cultural and socio-economic issues related to or that influence? Mungkin ada berkaitan ataupun yang boleh mempengaruhi perubahan ataupun the demographic trends. in the particular country of your choice tadi, right? Right. So describe that, yeah. You to discuss that the social, cultural, economic issues kaitan. And then number 3 is identify and describe major demographic issues. Jadi ini yang 2 dengan 3 ini related sebenarnya. Identify and describe the major demographic issues that the country is facing. So what are the demographic issues ataupun challenges? Adalah seperti saya dalam bahagian sini boleh diantaranya lah, ya. Then fourth, what are the challenges? What are the challenges? Sorry, my microphone was far away from me. What are the challenges faced by the country in relation to the population ataupun the demographic issues? Maknanya number 3, number 4 are quite related, ya. If you discuss demographic issues, for example, and then you identify what are the challenges, ya, related to that isu demografi berkenaan. Contohnya, kalau isu demografi adalah pertumbuhan populasi yang tinggi. So what are the challenges faced by the country, yeah, in relation to that demographic issue, right? So challenges could be in terms of human, human impact, economic impact, social dan sebagainya. Even political too. All right. Number 5, does the country has any population policy? And if so, explain. Ataupun kalau tak ada pun explain why there is none, for example. All right. So those are the questions or guidelines for you to explore, yeah, the topic of your choice ataupun the topic of your choice and also the country of your choice. Okay. So jadi when you talk about issues and also or challenges, these are some of the issue lah. Yeah, high population growth rate, high or low infant mortality rates in that particular country ataupun developing countries. You have to be specific, not just talking about developing countries. Yeah? This is country of your choice. Aging population, yeah. High or low birth rates. International migration, okay, can be a demographic issue. Changing family structures also can be that as well, can be one of the demographic issues. In fact, we will be discussing only towards the end of the semester, talking about changing family structure. Okay, population growth and its impact on the environment, ataupun environmental impact of population growth, for example, can be an issue. High population growth rates is also another example of demographic issue ataupun demographic problem. Labor shortage, foreign labor, these are not so direct, but it is also related to demography as well. Poverty, yeah. Poverty and population growth, health issues, dan macam-macam lagi, ya, etc. Which I did not list here, right? So you can have some other issues, yeah. So you decide on that, yeah. Out of so many issues, your group may focus on one, yeah, one particular issue. So I don't want you to focus on so many issues. Just focus on one major. The most is 2 major issues lah, ya. Kalau boleh satu focus on one major issue, yeah, and discuss on that. Okay, so in terms of outcomes ataupun yang diharapkan daripada this exercise is that number 1, you have to produce a written paper, a written paper of not more than 20 pages in length. Tidak digalakkan untuk panjang lah. Limit your paper to on optimum about 20 pages or not more than 20 pages maximum. And the paper will have to be submitted on the 12th week of the semester. I will identify the exact date nanti. Saya tak pasti lagi, ya, tarikhnya sebenar. And that written paper is 20% of the overall mark for your assignment. The other 10% is your presentation plus the materials that you use lah. Soft copy of the presentation, it can be slide, it can be video, or whatever form that you group decide to use. Yeah, so that is 10%. Right. So overall for your group assignment, yeah, including the presentation is 30%. Okay. So that's for your assignment ya. Kalau ada soalan, any question? I think I have uploaded this one. Uploaded this on your on Ellipse ya, for the assignment. Oke, boleh?
Yes.
Oke. Cuma saya belum lagi terima apa nama kumpulan dan ahli kumpulan. I don't think I have received. What you can do is you send that information, your group members. If you want to name your group pun boleh letak nama ke ataupun tidak. Otherwise, I just put the name of the group leader ya, sebagai nama kumpulan nanti. Right? You list down your group members name plus the metric number, right? And send that to me the earliest possible lah. Kalau tak minggu ni, minggu depan boleh. So that I can put all those in the system, ya, dalam group in the system, dalam Ellipse. Okay? Boleh?
Boleh,
Boleh,
Prof.
Prof.
Okay.
Boleh, Prof.
Okay, so we'll wait for you to inform me. Ya. Kalau tak ada apa-apa lagi, saya rasa itu saja untuk hari ini. Right, so kita jumpa lagi lah minggu hadapan.
Okay.
Oke, Prof.
Okay.
Thank you, Prof.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you, Prof.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Prof.
No problem. I just want to copy down senarai yang telah mendaftar tadi dalam chat.
Prof,
Yeah.
do we send the group names using WhatsApp?
Yes. Itu senang kan?
Okay lah.
Kalau
So
kau-
private WhatsApp you, is it?
Boleh, private pun boleh.
Okay.
Pakai group pun tak apa. Nothing secrecy about that kan? No secretive kan?
And then one more thing about the country kan.
Uh-huh.
Is it every group mesti different country or what?
Seboleh-bolehnya lah. Tapi nanti kalau ada grup yang mungkin mempunyai country yang sama, saya akan maklumkan nanti. Ya.
Okay,
Cuba.
alright. Okay, thank you, Prof.
Ya. Ya, kalau tak ada apa-apa, boleh, you can leave, you know.
Thank you, Prof.
Alright, thank you. Nur Cahaya masih, are you still around? Udah keluar. Udah keluar kan? Tak apa, it's okay. Just put in 10, 6, 4, 2, 0. Six, 8, 3, 9. Six, 5. 10, 6, 7, 4. Six, 5. Oke, siapa lagi tinggal? Nur Kamisi. Nur Kamisi, ya, sorry. Oke, play. Leong. Leong King.
Yes, sir.
Deng, ya. You
Yes.
still around, eh?
Ya.
Oke, ada apa nak tanya ke sebelum kita surai?
Tak ada, sir.
Oke.
Oke.
Aku you tutup. You boleh tutup sekarang kalau tak nak.
Oke.
Ya, no Kamisha, no Kamisha. I think she must have forgotten to leave. Okay, see you. Right.